Thanksgiving is this week. I'm quite excited about it because I can kind of walk. I wanted to do like a holiday themed mental health video because the holiday season can be the absolute worst when dealing with some sort of mental health issue like anxiety or depression, especially if the problems have recently come up, if you haven't really sought help yet for them, or if you're just starting out. It can be overwhelming for 300 different reasons, from just getting everything done that you need to family gatherings. And so I wanted to just put a word out there because I personally know how difficult the whole holiday season can be if you're trying to work through some sort of mental thing. You know, around the holiday season, you're bringing together everybody, people who have different opinions, people who have different political opinions, and we all know how that's going down right now. Different generations, different ways of life. It can be totally nuts and completely overwhelming. And it can be also beautiful and great and amazing and family time. It's, shouldn't be taken for granted, but it can also be stressful. I know it can. I just wanted to put a video out during the week of Thanksgiving and talk a little bit about mental health and the holiday season. I honestly felt compelled to put something out there for Thanksgiving week just because I know how invisible you can feel during the holiday season even if you're among more people than you are during the entire year. I just wanted to put like a word of encouragement out there. So let me tell you this: when I first went to a therapist, this wasn't the first therapist that I saw, but it was my first appointment with this particular therapist, and I had taken this extensive, long survey of, rating my feelings, rating where I was, all this stuff. And so she had some initial gauge of who is this person and where is she at in life, sort of thing. I went into her office and I, presented myself somewhat decently. My hair was done, I had my face on, I had clothes that were washed, I had showered, unlike today. I just looked like, I guess, a put together person. She mentioned something and it really stuck with me and made me think about how I approach life and how I approach different people and all of this stuff. And she made a comment that by looking at you, you would have no idea that you're feeling this way, that you clearly are, because you told me you were on paper. And even like I was laughing during the appointment, after kind of telling her my history and digging a little deeper, of course, typical therapist talk, and really kind of hashing it out, she pretty quickly came to the conclusion, and we started to discuss that I've always just had to present myself. Like, despite whatever was going on, despite circumstances or things or chaos, whatever was happening, I showed up to where I needed to show up and looked like I was ready to be there, even if I was mentally there or not. And I've always been able to do that. I've kind of just gained this, I don't know if you would call it talent. I wouldn't. I don't want anyone to have this talent, but I've always kind of like had these breakdowns or freakouts on my own terms, sort of thing, except when my anxiety got really out of control and I would start having panic attacks in public. But anyway, I never really led anybody to believe that I was really, really hurting. So because of that, things that I may have done or said or actions that I did, I don't know, could have come off as something else other than struggling. I went through a period where I avoided family holidays for quite a decent amount of time. I don't like thinking about it because I very much deeply regret it, but there was just a lot, that period of time, it was a lengthy period of time, there was a lot of stuff going on just in life. My way of dealing with it and coping with it, and I just didn't, I did not put myself in a place where I would start feeling anxious or down or stressed or anything like that, because I was already dealing with so much on my own. I gained this mindset of, you don't have to look like you're suffering in order for you to be actually suffering. And I know that sounds probably a little bit stupid, but you know, if somebody is walking around with like, you know, a cast on their arm, I'm not gonna like go up to them and be like, hey dude, you want to play some baseball? Like, obviously not. He's incapable. If you're dealing with something mentally, people just don't know that. I know that around this time of year, it can be so challenging because, you know, someone makes a comment or someone does something, and depending on where you're at with dealing with your issues or problems, it can send you spiraling. That reality can be so frustrating because one of the biggest ways of kind of diminishing your anxiety or rising your spirits, I guess, or raising your spirits, is to be around people, and to be around people that you love and who love you, and you know, who better to be around than your loved ones. So it's really to kind of go into this season with that dreaded, gloomy, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen, or this drama, or this Uncle Crazy Fred who loves whoever. It's not the best way to approach the holiday season. You don't want to go into the holiday season stressed and scared and avoiding people because of something that might happen. One thing that I think could maybe help is take some time to manage your expectations for holiday gatherings, and to think about and just meditate on the positives of it. You know, you're getting together a family or, you know, loved ones. So no one is really shy to share their opinions. No one is really, you know, skittish around different lifestyles or whatever. People are going to say what they want. Just know that that probably will happen, or that might happen, and just think about, okay, that's not a big deal. And think about what a positive it can be. I know it's so easy to dwell on yourself around this time of year because you can feel so alone and so invisible, even though you're around all your loved ones. But you might think, oh, they don't know what I'm going through, or oh, they don't whatever, oh, this person hasn't done this for me, or this person hasn't showed up for me, or I mean, the list goes on. But try to just show up and try to really be present, and not let your fears or anxieties dictate your holiday season, because that honestly sucks. It just sucks to have fear and mental health kind of bring you down and drain you and rob you of this joy and happy time during the holiday season. I wish for anything that I could have dealt with all that I was dealing with for that length of time when I was a teenager differently, you know, and just have told somebody what I was dealing with and going through, and asked somebody to show up for me and gotten somebody's help. And maybe, you know, relationships would be different, things would be different, circumstances would be different. I don't know, but I can't change what happened. I only try to, like, you know, do my best moving forwards. I just wanted to put something out there on anxiety and depression and mental health going into the week of Thanksgiving. Know that you're not alone. You don't need to look like you're suffering in order to be suffering. Don't think that your suffering is not validated or any less real if people don't see you. This is a time of happiness and feeling grateful and soaking up every, you know, ounce you have with anybody around you who you love and who loves you, and try not to let fear rob you of all that you deserve. Happy Thanksgiving! I'll see you next Tuesday after Black Friday. Bye.